right. I'm Rod Parker. I am the grandfather of a rather famous photographer that you probably all know, and that would be Parker Richardson. And he is about to take a picture of an abandoned house that he has never seen before. So if you walk right over this way, we'll go walk right into it.
How old do you think this place is, Pops?
You know, I expect this house is probably 100 years old. I think it was probably abandoned about 40 years ago. Probably wasn't lived in the 60s. You know, the windows are all broken out for 2/2 sash.
Is that water down there?
Yeah, there's a swamp that leads right to the river. By the way, look at there's an old walnut tree that was spread out. You can see quite old, and right behind it is an Osage orange, which is an unusual tree that was grown in colonial times.
A fire hose for a fire truck.
Yeah. Look at this going down in the basement.
Let's do it. Is this just dirt right here?
This is a dirt floor.
It's completely out of dirt. We can come up from the bottom, I guess.
I think we can go up this way.
Yeah. Tad bit stuck right here.
Yeah, give it a push. Okay, we'll go.
Wow.
Here's the kitchen. Look at the bird nests up in there.
Look at this lock.
Yeah, that's typical old locks, tin cupboards. Look at the birdhouses.
Yeah.
This is a typical old sink. Look at all these are wasp dirt daubers. See, they didn't have any central heat. This is how you can tell the house is pretty old, because there was no heat in here, except, look right here. This was an old kerosene stove sat right here. And that's the flue that took the smoke out. Back porch. Let's see if this still works.
And pencil sharpener.
Pencil sharpener. Now, there you go. Check this out. See how big this closet is?
Yep.
Little tiny thing. There's the bathroom. Come here, Parker. You can take a bath. You'll be cleaner. This is all added on. This house didn't have this initially.
No, you
And
think
this
so?
was built on as a little side shed to the.
Look at the vines on the top.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. They look like little frog feet.
Yeah.
It's stuck up there. That is really pretty neat right there. Get a close up of that. It's the little vine is stuck. Pretty neat plant. You can see the floors all sagged in.
Yeah, especially in this room right here. It's like an old fireplace almost.
See, no. This is very typical, Parker, of something that they did back in the 90s and late 1800s and early 1900s. There probably was a fireplace here, which they boarded up, and then they put a flue right here. So there was a heater that stood here. Could have been a wood heater or kerosene heater the pipe went in the wall, and that's how they heated this room. And you see that grate up there?
Yeah.
That grate let the heat go through the ceiling up into the...
Okay.
There was a room above this, and that's how they heated that room. The heat from this ceiling went up and heated that room. That's pretty typical. Here's how you can tell this was an add-on. You see this? This was a window here, and this was added on to the house. Then they had a window that was on. The window went to the porch. Here was another heater for this room. Now this probably is about
Here's the front door.
I guess 1890 ounce. Yeah, they had a nice front screen. Big screen porch on the front. Parker, look up and you'll see how you can still see the ceiling was painted blue. You see that?
Yeah.
That's a very typical thing they did in the old days when they built a house, put a porch on it. They painted the porch roof on the ceiling, porch ceiling, blue, and it kind of was supposed to look like the sky.
I believe there's an upstairs too.
Yes, there is.
I'll go first.
Now these rooms had flues in them too. See that?
Yeah. What do you think this is?
Could have been. It could be rescued. Some kind of heater, perhaps. Once all the windows go out, the house will deteriorate quickly.
Why do you say that?
Well, the
weather.
The wind and the rain comes in, and then the house gets rotten. Pretty much right here. Look at this.
Huh.
See how it's cracked right there?
Oh yeah.
This roof has been leaking, and it's beginning. The wood is beginning to rot and break.
Yeah, this is gonna go. I wonder what this part of the house was.
This is a little bedroom that they added on. Remember when I told you they added the bottom part on? They put this on. And it's just kind of look how little. There's a little short. It's a short room. It's only about 6 feet high. And there's a door there. So there might have been another porch or something out there. We'll have to walk around and look. That's unusual to have a door up on the second floor.
Bed frame.
Yeah, some kind of old bed frame. There may have been some squatters lived here for a while. That looks like a bed made out of old wood, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know what that's about.
Look at the ceiling. Look at the detail.
Hey, look at this. There was a lock on this door, and somebody painted the door at one point and painted the lock so you can't even pick it up off it's painted into the door.
Why do they do that?
I don't know. But there's no doorknob on this. See that? See, there's no doorknob, and there never was one. So they could pull it open. Here's where the hook is right there. Somebody put electricity in it one time ago.
Yeah.
Look at this. Can you see the mosquitoes flying around?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is in January. There's mosquitoes.
Paper towel holder. You don't see like a lot of these. because
Yeah.
it's just kind of different.
You could buy them at the grocery store.
Yeah, I've just never seen them before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know why. News and information.
These are not so old. These are probably not, that's not an old thing, maybe 30, 40 years old. So that's, somebody used this house not so long ago.
This is really interesting.
Mm-hmm. You see these trees, they wouldn't have had trees right up next to the house like this.
Yeah.
So there, and those trees are probably maybe 20 years old, so you know it's older than that. Since it's been abandoned. Well, I'm interested to see about this door on the side.
Yeah, that was definitely added on.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was the little add-on, and that was easy to make some room. And you can see, looks like this bottom part was added on, and then perhaps the top part was added on from that.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to tell, but they don't look like they were put on at the same time to me. But I still don't see what the purpose of that door was, because there's no place to walk out. Interesting, huh? See that metal roof? That metal roof was sort of typical of something that would have been built around 100 years or more ago. That's the original roof. There's not another one underneath of it.
Hmm.
So somewhere around 1900, 1920.